What is going on, everyone? Thank you so much for coming back today. Thank you so much for taking time today to just click on today's video. Man, it truly means the world to me, so I want to say thank you. Today we're exploring another episode of Hoarders. Now, I didn't want to do an episode of Hoarders this close together, but this one, I have to do a video on it because it's so bad. Now, this hoard in particular was voted the worst hoard in hoarding history. I don't know who's placing these votes, but this one is pretty bad. So I have to warn you, if you are eating, first off, thank you for eating while watching my videos. That means a lot to me. But no, don't eat while watching this. If you have a sensitive stomach, don't eat while watching this video. Now, almost on all these episodes, something sad and traumatic happened to these people to cause them to start collecting this hoard in the first place. And as every episode goes, the hoarders aren't willing to change. Usually something happened in their life that is forcing them to change. In this episode, we meet Shanna. Now, Shanna is being fined $250 a day by the city until her backyard is cleaned up. A neighbor happened to peek over the fence, see all the garbage in her backyard, and report her to the city. With fines of $250 a day, Shanna is on disability, so she can't afford to pay these fines. So, now the fines are in the upwards of thousands of dollars. Now, this goes into the back history of Shanna. Now, she moved in with her mother 13 years ago. Her mom was already a hoarder. Shanna moving in, the hoarding just exploded at this point. Now, Shanna's mom, before she passed away, liked to collect her feces. I said feces, and save them in bottles and keep them in the house. Now, Shanna explains that her mom was worried that the septic tank was about to overflow, was getting full, so they poop and pee in a Home Depot bucket and keep it in the house, and that's where they got all this hoard. Now, Shanna explains that she uses her mom's old room as storage. And by storage, I mean all of the bottles of pee and poop, most of them end up in her mom's old room, which is very sad to think about. Now, like I said, Shanna explains that the septic tank is almost full, so she poops and pees in a Home Depot bucket, and then when it gets somewhat full, she will empty it. And by empty it, I mean transfer it into a smaller bucket and dump it in her yard. Also, I might add, no gloves on whatsoever. As we watch Shanna climb over all this just garbage and trash, the balancing act is phenomenal to not spill any of this as she's walking. I couldn't imagine being her neighbor and just being outside and just trying to enjoy your day, and you're grilling out with the family, and all of a sudden this strong scent of shit just hits you, and you see Shanna just walking through a yard with this bucket. Now, Shanna explains that she's never had a complaint on the smell.
No neighbors have said anything to me about it either, though.
There's never been a complaint about her dumping her poop out in the front yard, so neighbors have never said anything. But I imagine this is how it would go. Hey, Roy! Hey, man, I'm glad I caught you outside. I've been meaning to ask you. It's kind of crazy when I even say it out loud, but my wife sent me over here to ask you. She's been smelling this odor, like, by our property lines, and she was wondering if you are shitting in a bucket and then throwing it out near our property line. Yeah? Why? Now, here we find that Shanna likes to cook her soup in these paper bowls and put them in the toaster oven. When the camera crew asks her, like, why do you cook in the toaster oven? She simply says, because she's too lazy. And it's so crazy because you can clearly see smoke coming from this, and the edges of the plates are burned. Now, here's where the extreme cleanup specialist gets there to take a look at the house. And this part, to me, kind of blows my mind, is that he asks her, what do you think is the main contributing factor to the odor in the house? And Shanna, wholeheartedly, with her chest, says it's the mold and the dust.
What is the main cause of the smell?
Musty odor, having to do with mold and dust.
No.
No?
It's the feces and urine that's in the house.
One thing I find crazy is that she is so shocked that she thought she had the smell nailed down to the mold and dust, and whenever Matt, the extreme clean specialist, lets her know that it's the poop and the feces, Shanna's mind is just blown.
Is that brand new information to you? To think that the feces and urine has something to do with the smell?
I guess so, because I thought it was due to the mold and dust.
Now, after Matt, the cleanup specialist, has his kind of tour of the house, this is where the therapist shows up. And every episode, the therapist shows up, agrees to work with him. They seem motivated to change until stuff starts removing from the house. That's when the crazy just starts to come out. Now, when the therapist is explaining to Shanna that all the food in the house must go because all of it's contaminated, Shanna starts defending everything in this house. As far as the salad that she just got it 2 weeks ago, as far as down to the moldy bread, that she can still eat the bread, she'll just pick the mold off. Now, here's where the therapist is explaining to Shanna that they are there in hazmat suits day one. Usually the guys in hazmat suits comes through and disinfects everything on the very last day. But they are there on day one because it's such a contaminated scene. Now, to safely dispose of this, they have to open each container and pour it down the porta potty. Imagine having this as your job, emptying each container. Now, Matt, the cleanup specialist, says that each container holds about 100 gallons of pee and poop. As you can see, there's so many trash cans that are just full of this feces and poop. And this is only about 10% of what they get out of this house. Now, here's where Shanna meets with the therapist and the cleanup specialist at the same time, letting them know that she knows everything has to go, but she wants to go ahead and eat the contaminated food one last time. That she knows that she's been eating poop for 12 years, but she has to do it one final time, just like a druggie needs to get that one final high one last time before they go into rehab.
Because when somebody goes on intervention, they want to get high one last time. The party ends for me tomorrow. Why the does it matter? I've been eating poop for 12 years.
Which is, it blows my mind. I really think Home Depot missed their opportunity to be a sponsor of this Hoard.
Home Depot, how poors get it done.
Now, after they have cleared most of the stuff out, they realize that nothing can be salvaged. That they said that they brought in a specialist and then determined that it would actually be cheaper to, just demolish everything and build a whole new house than it would be to try to fix up the house. It would just cost a lot more money to fix it up. Now, we find out that the family is going to try to sell the house as is, and Shanna is going to be living with family until they find out a better solution or long-term solution for her. Which is really a depressing ending for me because, they should have known the moment they walked in there that there was no saving this house. This house was too far gone. And I really do feel bad for Shanna that she had lived in this filth for so very long before anything happened to her. Now, as we get the title card at the end, you learn that Shanna is now living in assisted living, which again, I'm very happy for her because I don't think Shanna needs to be living on her own. She definitely needs someone to help her and make decisions for her. But that was it. That's the episode of Hoarders, Season 6, Episode 4. It's Shanna, and there's another lady, but her hoard is not as bad as Shanna, so I just want to focus on Shanna. But let me know down in the comments, guys, was this the worst Hoard you've ever seen? I don't know if you guys ever checked out Hoarders. Me and my wife watch Hoarders quite a bit. My wife will watch it, and I'm just, disgusted, and my wife will be over there, eating. Just nothing phases my wife, which is kind of scary. But, no, let me know down in the comments, guys, was this the worst Hoard? I think out of all the episodes I watched of Hoarders, this one stuck out the most to me, by far. But, guys, before I go, just a few announcements. If you have not checked out yet another Average podcast, they had episode 1 the other night, phenomenal, where they tried to talk about all the mysteries in the world, from cryptics to cursed movie sets, to aliens, ghosts, you name it, they're probably going to talk about it. Go give them a subscribe, go give them a follow. They had episode 1 the other night, and me and my wife thoroughly enjoyed it. Episode 1 was on Bigfoot, and I have an obsession with Bigfoot. I love the story, I love the thought of Bigfoot being out there. But go give them a follow, guys. Go give them a subscribe, check them out, drop your opinions down below. But lastly, guys, I am so close to 1,000 subscribers that I can taste it. If you wouldn't mind helping me out, the best way to do that is hit the thumbs up button down below. If you're not a subscriber, it's easy, it's free. There's not a lot of things in this world that is free anymore, But being a subscriber for B for Brandon is free. And then outside that, turn on that little bell notification and select all. And then YouTube will send you a nice little reminder whenever I upload new videos. So that way you don't miss anything of the videos that I upload. Guys, I appreciate you. Mom, I love you. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys. Hey, if you want to watch another video, click here. If you want to subscribe, click over here. As always, thanks for watching, guys.